In this video, I'm going to show you what the application filter of the Palo Alto firewall is and how you can use it in your firewall rules. Regarding application filter, you can find the option under Object, and you have here the application filter. Before we get into the configuration, let me just make some explanation of how I understand it, how I use it, and maybe if you need to use it or if you want to use it or not. The idea of the application filter is similar to the idea of URL category, in my opinion. Similar in some cases. The application filter is different from the application group in the sense that in the group, you have to make a group and it's more or less a passive thing. The application group is a group of applications that you can come here and say add. I want to add this one, and I want to add this one, and I want to add this one. Okay? This is more or less static. And the idea of a filter is more of a dynamic idea of a grouping of applications. And these applications, if you go to device, you come down here to dynamic updates, you have here application updates. So it means that these applications, they get updated through the content updates, and they get tagged when they are updated, sometimes. No? And the application filters, they take into account these tags or this other information that each application has. If you go to applications, let's search, for example, Tor. For example, Tor application, it's going to show me a lot, but if I go to networking and go to the end, I see here Tor. Let's click in the application. You can see that this application Tor has a proxy avoidance tag. What else does it have? It has subcategory encrypted tunnel. These are information that are not 100% static. These information can be updated through the content update, including, of course, the tags. So if you get another one that's a little bit more Entropic, do we have Entropic? Yeah, Entropic API, for example. This is a new, of course, this AI, this is a relative new application. If you go to Entropic API base, you can see that it has a tag generative AI, web app, artificial intelligence. Also these subcategories, they get updated through the content updates. So comparison between application filter and these other two, they are dynamic groups of applications. Before we go to the configuration, let's jump into the URL category. URL category, you can also configure here category if you have the URL filtering, not here, sorry. If they have the URL filtering license, you can come here and say add, and you can configure either allow or deny for special, let's say alcohol and tobacco, I want to block, and you can configure here, that's not really where I want it, sorry, my bad. This is URL filtering, I want to a URL category. If I come here and say add, I want to add a site. Yeah, that's what I wanted. I want to add, I don't know, let's say tobacco. Category match, and I want to click add, and alcohol and tobacco, they're here. This is a category, and I want to tobacco category. Okay, alcohol, tobacco category. So now I created a category which is dynamic because I'm not using the list anymore. Actually, this video is not about URL category, but I want to explain this so you can understand later what I'm going to explain. So you have the URL list, which would be something static, is a list that you can configure, and you have a category match. For this, you need the, like I said, the URL filtering license, and it matches categories defined by the Palo Alto. And behind these categories, you have a long list of URL lists. And these URLs, they're also dynamic. The Palo Alto has a crawler that goes through all the websites and reads their text and tries to understand what they are offering and tries to match these categories. Sometimes you need to ask them to change the categories, but mainly you can use this way to block access, for example, to alcohol and tobacco, or to allow. It depends on how you want to build your rule. So after you have a custom URL category, you can click on OK, and you can come to policy. You can create a new policy that would say deny alcohol tobacco. Something like this. Source, it would be your inside source, let's say trust, destination, untrust. And then here, where is it? Service URL, okay, application, you can leave at any. If it's a deny, yeah. So service URL category, you have here the URL category, and here you can choose your alcohol, tobacco category, the one that we just created. Oh, sorry, almost forgot. You can choose here deny, and then you have a deny rule, deny alcohol, tobacco, using your category. Your category. Using your URL category, alcohol and tobacco category. Okay? This is one way that you can create, let's say, a dynamic rule, either allowing or blocking some kind of traffic that, let's say, that the matching criteria gets created. You understood what I meant. You can do the same for the applications. So the question would come, if I have the URL category, can I not use the URL category for all my stuff? You can, but you need to remember that the URL categories are mainly used for HTTP traffic, because there are some other type of traffic that don't get recognized from the URL category. If you are making an SSH to a domain in the internet, the Palo Alto will probably not recognize the domain you're trying to access using SSH. In the documents from the Palo says that mostly HTTP and HTTPS URLs can be read or understood from the Palo, from the traffic. But not all the applications, many of them cannot. Another example that the URL category, before jumping to here, another example is by the URL category, you usually block regarding considering the target or the destination that you're trying to go to. If you have, for example, Tor has dynamic destinations, a URL category won't be able to block traffic going to a Tor network because the destinations are just dynamic. In this case, now let's jump to the main topic that we wanted to speak in this video. You can use the application filter. Let's go to Tor. And here we can enter, let's not go to Tor, we already found the proxy avoidance. Here you can create proxy minus avoidance. You can use enter here, app filter, application filter, proxy avoidance. Now we need to find the proxy avoidance here under tags. You click once on it, and then you click OK. And then you can see here the name application filter proxy avoidance, and you have under tag what the application filter is actually filtering. You have other ways to filter this also. You have here already the proxy avoidance clicked. You can enter also another level. I don't know, you only want networking, you don't want general internet. So you can click on networking also, and then if you click OK, you see the category networking and the text proxy avoidance. I don't think it's so useful. I'm gonna come here and say networking I don't want. I just click once and it's gone, and you're gonna have proxy avoidance here only. And then you can come and say add. I want artificial intelligence. And then you look for artificial intelligence as a tag. Generative AI, sorry, my bad. Generative AI is the one that we saw. And you have under the generative AI also some characteristics. Poor terms of service, prone to misuse, uses Gen AI to generate code, vulnerability. You can also click here, let's say vulnerability. You can click more than one. Now if you saw, I didn't even have to use control. You can just go clicking and it selects more than one. But I just want to leave vulnerability. So now I selected generative AI that has a characteristic of vulnerability. Again, these characteristics, all this information comes from the Palo Alto cloud through these dynamic updates. If I want to group these two, I can go to application group and make a Gen AI and just a name. The name is, I'm not being so creative today with the names, but doesn't matter. If I click here on add, I can go all the way to the bottom. I think I should see, no, I don't see. So we just see proxy avoidance, and it's showing as an application filter. Can you see? And then we can click also the other one I forgot, generative AI, no, artificial intelligence, right? Application filter. So I have these two filters under one application group. And again, the application group is fixed, but the application filter in these groups, they are dynamic. And you can use this filter to add, deny, malicious, something like this. Application, what did I call? Proxy, something with proxy. Proxy, I'm gonna show me a lot. There you go. So I have the application filter and the application group. I want to use the application group here. So in here I have both filters. Let me just not do this. Trust, going to untrust. And this I said deny. So application. And the service, hero category. This is not what I want. I want application default. And here under action, I want deny. And then I go to action, deny, click on OK. And then you have your rule down here, deny malicious. If you go to value, you see you have both values, and you see the members, and these members, it opens the application filter. And if you go to the application filter, you are going to see actually a lot of applications. 3 pages. Tor to web, and the Tor application there, the one that we saw before, is also there. And regarding the ports, also you can see it uses dynamic ports, not only 443. So I would imagine that some traffic using this application wouldn't match any URL category, because the Palo Alto probably wouldn't be able to see the destinations. And if it would, since they are so dynamic, probably the Palo Alto wouldn't be able to block. And that's what I wanted to show you regarding the application filters. Try in your network to see if it works. I use 98% URL filtering, but there are some cases that I have to use for my customers the application filters. Thank you guys for watching this video to the end. I hope you got some value from this video, and if you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and maybe this video here is going to help you further configuring your Palo Alto file, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.